Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the Honourable Member for Richmond Park for bringing this debate forward. And I'll declare an interest as co-chair of the APPG for cerebral palsy. Maternal mental health has been one of the hidden impacts of this pandemic. Being a new mum is a special time for any woman. However, it can also be overwhelming and generally challenging. In normal times, many women receive support from their family and friends who are there to offer invaluable guidance. Yet for the last year, the public health restrictions needed to tackle COVID-19 have meant that many women have had to make this journey on their own. I had my first child, Maria, at 21. The advice from my mum was crucial in spotting the missed stages in her early development, which enabled her cerebral palsy diagnosis to come much sooner than it otherwise would have. And I kind of put into words how valuable her support was following such heart-rending news. But it was thanks to my family and friends that I felt confident enough to go on and have 2 more children. And it strikes me that if Maria had been born during this pandemic, then the personal support I received from my mum and health visitors would have been so much more limited. And my heart truly goes out to those who've become mothers during this pandemic. And I cannot imagine the impact isolation will be having upon their mental health. And I do worry that some may sadly choose not to extend their families in the future. The pandemic has also particularly affected those whose babies have received neonatal care, with more than 90% of parents who responded to a Bliss survey saying that they felt more isolated due to having a baby in neonatal care during the pandemic, while 70% said that their mental health was negatively impacted as a result of their experience. This situation hasn't been helped by the fact that Bliss research has also found that psychological support for parents experiencing neonatal care is inconsistent at best, with around half of parents saying that they were not offered mental health support during or after this care. However, the impact of negative maternal mental health goes beyond the parent, and it's not limited to the short term. As we've already heard, the first 18 to 24 months of a baby's life is critical in their development, and the stress and trauma of poor maternal mental health has the potential to severely impact the life chances of a child. In areas of the northeast where my own constituency is located, existing health inequalities already mean that some children begin their life with inferior life chances to those from less deprived regions. So we simply cannot afford to place a further obstacle in their way of their development and risking losing a whole generation. As a result of the pandemic, we're facing a potential mental health crisis in Britain, and maternal mental health is significant. It's unreasonable to suggest that as a society we could experience a collective trauma on this scale without it impacting on mental health. And this will inevitably be challenging, especially when the existing foundations for mental health care in the country were already so weak. It was therefore incredibly disappointing that health services were absent from the Chancellor's budget last week, and he could do with learning that the damage from this pandemic to public health will not fix itself. It seems fitting that we're having this debate during the week in which International Women's Day falls. Not only have women consistently stepped up to the plate during the pandemic with little to no reward, they've also shown their resilience in coping with one of life's toughest challenges, becoming a mum. And we owe it to the women in our constituencies that we have the best mental health support out there for what undoubtedly is one of the most beautiful yet challenging life experiences they'll face.